Good afternoon and welcome to another incredible city here in India. Today we are in the incredible city of Bikaner, located still in the state of Rajasthan. And today this is a food tour. Bikaner has some of the most incredible foods you can find here in India. It's got really unique foods. It's got sweet, it's got salty foods, it's got savory foods. It's got a lot of different foods that you're not going to find in other places. And even if you do find them, the best of them are usually found right here in Bikaner. So with that, let's go ahead, let's try out some of the street food here in the city. I've got a few places in mind and I'm excited to share it with you guys in this video. So let's go ahead and let's start eating around Bikaner. Stop of the day here in Bikaner. We've come to a place known as Shri Shiv Sagar restaurant. It's a big restaurant and they serve all different. They have sweets, they have savories, but they're a massive restaurant. And we've got something that actually I was recommended when I was in Jaisalmer, but I decided, you know what, this might be a great opportunity for us to try it here in Bikaner because I noticed it was also on the menu. Because we are still in the same state of Rajasthan, the food should still be pretty good. This right here is Sev Tamatur. Sev Tamatur, from the looks of it, looks like a tomatoey noodle dish. I'm not really sure what's going on, but it seems like it's a very thick tomato gravy, tomato sauce with noodles packed in. There's some crispy noodles on the very top, and then we've also got some roti right on the side. That's supposed to go really well with it. But without further ado, I'm very curious to try out Sev Tamatur. Like I said, this was something that was actually recommended to us yesterday, but we chose to go with something else. So now, here in Bikaner, we're gonna go ahead and try out Sev Tamatur. Look at this right here. You can see all the noodles. It's got some chilies. I think it's got some curry leaves. It's got some spices. It's a little bit spicy. Let's go ahead and try out our first Sev Tamatur here in Bikaner. That is incredible. First off, the noodles that are put inside it are not soft like cooked noodles. They're crispy noodles. They're still actually really crispy. They're still slightly hard to bite through still. And I'm finding it's quite salty. It is a bit salty. It's got that sort of flavorful saltiness to it. Perhaps a little too salty, but there is tomato. It is a tomato-based sauce. But to be fair, I don't really taste that much tomato. Much of the texture is taken up by the actual crispy noodles in it, whether it's already been cooked into the Sev Tamatur or it's sprinkled on top of it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get one of the rotis. You can see this right here is a tava roti. Tava rotis tend to be thinner in the layer they are compared to other types of rotis, for example, tandoori rotis, which tend to be a little bit thicker. But what I'm going to do is, you can first off see that there's a bit of oil right on top. That's always a good sign. You always want to make sure that the bread that you have is a little bit buttered with a little bit of oil. That's what gives it a bit of flavor. This tearing it apart, you can tell it is very flaky right here in my hands. It looks really nice. I'm going to use this, grab a bit of the Sev Tamatur. This looks like a really heavenly bite. This looks like a really good bite. Let's go ahead and try this out. I can actually taste the butteriness of the actual bread itself. The roti has a nice salty butter taste to it. That's why you see it's a bit oily on the actual surface of it. But I do have to say, it does a very good job of encapsulating all those tomato flavors. It's like a bready cushion that covers the whole thing. That's the way it needs to be. So you need to have some bread with this. Like I said, the Sev Tamatur is a bit salty, so you do need some bread, some starch to just sort of counteract that saltiness from the Sev Tamatur. But I have to say, really liking Sev Tamatur. I like the fact that they use these crispy noodles to cook it inside. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't know what I was really expecting. But this is really good. One of the classic foods here. Like I mentioned, we were recommended in Jaisalmer, but now we finally got the chance to try it here in Bikaner. Well, that is a great choice right here. You can see the restaurant is right here. Sev Tamatur. Probably one of the most surprising things. Crispy noodles and tomato. And I was just telling you, it's kind of like a Namkeen, which is like a salty snack here. That's what Bikaner does best, these salty snacks called Namkeen. That's why it's so good. It's sort of like something like that. So they do it really well here in Bikaner. But Sev Tamatur, good thing to have here in India. Definitely try it out. With that, let's go see what else you can eat in this incredible city. Now I mentioned before that here in Bikaner the most famous thing to try is their Namkeen. What is Namkeen? Namkeen is just like a salty little snack that people usually have here in India. It's very common, it's very classic, and Bikaner is famous for them. The company place in as Ishan Lal Babu Lal, they're apparently very famous. In fact, locals have just come out, and as they're leaving they say this place has the best Namkeen you're gonna get in all of Bikaner. So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna try some stuff out, see what the good stuff is, and see what Namkeen here in Bikaner is all about. You can see all the different types of Namkeen right here. All the different sort of puffed rice, puffed crispy things that you can have here. It is truly an endless variety that you can have as the train honks against you here in the city of Bikaner. We got one type of Namkeen right here. It's a really interesting one, a little bit orangish in color. Try it out. Oh. Try some? The owner here has just given me some namkeen to try out. You can see it's little shreds, tiny little shreds here. That's all it is. Let's go for it. 1 kilo popcorn. Nice, salty, crispy bits. In the UK and the US, they might have potato chips. But here in India, Namkeen is the way you have a salty, crispy afternoon snack. This place has got to be the most chaotic place ever. They're just packed with so many people in here, all in one tight spot. Everybody buying Namkeen. Locals leaving here happy about their choice, their selection of Namkeen. It's a crazy vibe, but when you come to Bikaner, you can't miss out on a Namkeen. It is what they are the most famous for here in the city. Kachori. The owner of the shop has now just invited me to try something else. But choti kachori. Choti means small, and if you remember kachori here in Rajasthan, it's those fried crispy things. It is a very small little crispy thing. That's exactly what it is. Let's try our first choti kachori. Very interesting. The kachori has a nice crispy flavor to it. A bit spicy, a bit earthy in flavor. I'm not sure what they stuffed inside it, but definitely very interesting. I do prefer the namkeen though. The choti kachori is just a nice little addition here at the store. Dinner tonight, we have come to a place known as Ganesh Hotel. Now, hotel is not what you think it is here in India. Hotel in Western countries means a place that you sleep or stay. In India, hotel can actually mean restaurant, which is very interesting. It's very funny to me, but we actually know about this place because a local recommended this Ganesh restaurant to us, and let me just say, it looks legendary. Behind the kitchen, you can see them freshly making rotis from the tandoor. You can see them heating things up on a very, very hot fire. These chefs are talented and the food looks amazing. So what have we got? We've got one thing that I've wanted to try since I landed here in Bikaner, and that is Dum Aloo Bikaneri. Aloo refers to potato. So it's a way of cooking potato as well as potato curry, potato stew in a Bikaneri style, We are in Bikaner, so if I'm gonna be in Bikaner, I'm gonna have potato in the Bikaner style. We've also got some butter roti. Apparently that's the way you're supposed to have it. You're supposed to have tandoori roti with some butter on it and have that with the potato. That is supposed to be the heavenly combination that's going to transport you right to heaven. So without further ado, let me first go ahead and get a big scoop of this potato, this dum aloo. First off, very interesting, it's purple in color, and they've got some pieces of papad to sort of put on the top. Nice artistic little decoration, I guess, but I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna dig in. Wow, you can see this piece of green chili right already there. That looks really, really interesting. Go ahead, try out my first dum aloo here in Bikaner, Bikaneri style. Let's go for it. Oh my goodness, that potato just melted. It literally disintegrated and it's so soft. I didn't know potato could be that soft. Usually like in Western countries you have potato that's very crispy or it's fried. But this potato on the inside is super, super soft. It's almost fluffy. The sauce is the perfect hint of a little bit of saltiness to it. It's not too spicy, but it's got the perfect bit of spiciness. And then with the papad chips on top, you've got a perfect sort of texture that's crunchy, which contrasts really well with the dum aloo, which is so, so soft. I'm not exactly sure what about this dum aloo makes it in the Bikaneri style, but this is the way to do it here in Bikaner. And let me just say, it smells amazing, it tastes amazing, and the textures of that potato literally melting away in your mouth That is what makes it awesome. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a big piece of this roti here. I'm gonna go ahead, oh, first off, look at how buttery that roti is. You can literally see the butter dripping on that roti. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a piece of this roti. I'm gonna put some of the Dum Aloo right inside it and smear it up with all that gravy sauce. Oh yeah, this looks like it's gonna be a good bite right here. Look at all that potato gravy in that roti. Let's try it. That has to be the way it was meant to be eaten. That roti, super nice, super buttery, almost kind of crispy on the outside, but very soft on the inside. Then you've got that soft texture. But for me, the Dum Aloo, the flavor of it is so good. You can taste the depth of the spices in the Dum Aloo. You know it's been cooking for a while. Dum Aloo involves a bit of time. You have to cook down the potato. That's how the potato gets that soft. And when you cook potatoes for that long, it starts to seep in with all the flavors, the spices, the sauces that you put into it. That's why Dum Aloo is so amazing. And here in Bikaner, this Bikaneri style Dum Aloo is absolutely incredible. Now, one more thing that I really wanted to show you is this garlic chutney. This bowl alone is almost as pricey as some of the main dishes here in this restaurant. So we are very curious to see what is so special about this garlic chutney. It has to be pretty good for it to be so good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a piece of this roti as well. I'm gonna dip it inside this garlic chutney. Look at that. That looks absolutely incredible. It's supposed to be quite spicy, so let's go ahead and give it a try. Oh, that is perfect. That is delicious and flavorful and garlicky and spicy all at the same time. It's almost got like a Southeast Asian chili sort of sauce flavor to it. It's really deep, but the garlic, you can taste the garlickiness of the chili sauce. It adds a really nice garlicky flavor. And for me, the texture of it is also really nice. It's not too oily, it's not too runny. Rather, it's got almost this like very thick chili sort of chutney sauce to it. But the flavors are incredible. You got that garlicky flavor to it. And to be fair, I know they said it's really spicy. I don't think it's too spicy. I actually think it's the perfect sort of combination between the sweetness of the little garlic and a bit of spiciness. But mix that together with the roti, and that is the perfect combination you've got to have here in Bikaner. That was a delicious dinner. Ganesh restaurant, Ganesh hotel, sorry. They know what they're doing. But it is very late now, and we're gonna go ahead and head back to the hotel. But tomorrow, we are gonna come back to the city to have breakfast. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning when we come out to the city and eat again. Well, good morning guys, and as I promised, it is time for us to have some breakfast here in Bikaner. There are some great breakfast things, but we're gonna go for a quick breakfast because we are in a rush to get out of Bikaner. So with that, let's see if we can get anything. Pyaz Kachori? हाँ, एक प्याज कचौरी और जलेबी. हाँ. प्याज कचौरी आ रहा है 2 मिनट. 2 मिनट, हाँ ठीक है. Alright, first stop of the day today, we've come to a place known as Jodhpur Sahi Namkeen. Now, remember we talked about Namkeen yesterday, those salty little snacks here in India that are very common. But here in the breakfast, here in morning time, they serve some really good breakfast, specifically Kachori. Kachori is one of those classic Rajasthani things, and considering this is my last day in Rajasthan, I have to have a Kachori. On top of that, we've also got some jalebi, which are also fried right here in Bikaner. But first off, let's look at the Kachori. First off, this guy is literally frying it in this massive vat of oil, and he makes so many in one go. It is massive. But then when you actually look at what we're being served with, it looks nothing like what was being fried. That's because they add a lot of things on top of it. They cut it into little pieces, they add some onions, they add some potatoes, they add some sauce, they add some yogurt, they add so many different things that at the end, the final product that what you're gonna eat at the end of the day looks very different from what was actually frying over there. So with that, let's go ahead, let's try the Kachori here in Bikaner. It is supposed to be absolutely legendary at this stall. So let's go ahead. Oh wow. Look at this Kachori. It is freshly fried, super hot. It is so hot in my hand. Let's go ahead and give it a try. That is absolutely delicious. Sweet, salty, spicy, all combined into one flavor. You've got the oiliness from the actual Kachori itself. Crispy, brings a nice texture in. And then you've got a very nice, sweet, almost jam-like fruity chutney. That's the sort of red, thick chutney that they've added. Then we got a bit of spice. The Kachori itself is already stuffed with a bit of spice, but on top of that, they've also added more types of spices on it. The potatoes as well are kind of spiced. Then you've got the freshness and the acidity of the onion, which brings a little bit of sweetness as well, but also quite a bit of acidity. Then finally at the end, you've got some yogurt, just a tiny bit of yogurt, just to give it a little bit of creaminess, but it is an incredible flavor to have. The thing is, the kachori is cut into all these small little bits that you don't taste the entire big piece of kachori anymore. Instead, what you have are tiny bits that you dip into the sauce, dip with the onions, dip with the potatoes, and you get some of the best kachoris you're gonna get here in Rajasthan. Now, on top of the kachori, I had to try some jalebi. Here, jalebi, again, are tried into these tiny, very thin little pieces. This is the classic Rajasthani type of jalebi. They're very thin, they're very light. Let's go ahead and give it a try. That almost tastes very honey-like. It has a very strong honey flavor. It's very sweet, very crispy, very nice, but very honey flavored. It's nice. Is this the best jalebi I've ever had? No, but the kachori is what you come here for. The kachori is really good, and that is absolutely delicious. The mix of the saltiness, the flavors, the spices, the actual sweetness, and all that freshness of the ingredients of the onions, that adds a terrific flavor to the overall taste of the kachori. Wow, what a delicious breakfast. This place, Jodhpur Shri, the food is absolutely incredible. The kachoris are absolutely incredible, but that is how you have breakfast here in Bikaner. Kachoris, some jalebi, that is the way it's done. And total price of all that, 100 rupees. That's very affordable here in Bikaner. Well, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right here. Bikaner has so much great food, namkeens, kachoris, all these different things, the Dum Aloo and Bikaneri style we had yesterday. This place is a food haven. And if you love street food, if you love Indian food, then there's no better place to come than in Bikaner to try some of the incredible food there is. Yes, Bikaner might not be the most touristy city, but when it comes to food, this place has got it. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more food and travel videos, and I'll see you all on the next one here from India.